Back here at Bryant Stadium, and we think we do have soccer in our future finally. The weather has definitely improved. There are still some dark clouds off to our west and north, but that's the direction that the latest storm that has delayed things here, that's the direction the storm is moving. So it is definitely moving away from Bryant Stadium, and actually right above the Square One Burgers field here, we actually have some blue skies. So I'm pretty confident that we will get the second half underway here in just a couple of minutes as the Lakeland Tropics lead this by a 1-0 count over IMG Academy. 2 more regular season games remaining for Lakeland after tonight, and a win here tonight would keep Lakeland's playoff hopes alive. So a very important 45 minutes upcoming here for the Tropics. Let's take a look at some of those stats from the first half. As we said, there really were not a ton of great scoring opportunities on either side. Victor Pereiras with the only goal, and that of course came in the 40th minute on a penalty kick. Ramsey Torrey on a ball into the box using his big 6'5" frame to get up above the IMG defense, got his head on it and was fouled in doing so. And so Pereiras took the penalty kick and made no mistake, burying the shot in the top left-hand corner past Stephen Bannock, who was going the other way for IMG Academy, but we were talking about it off the air at halftime, and even if Bannock had guessed right, it was such a well-struck and well-placed shot by Pereiras that even if he had guessed right, it was unlikely that he'd have been able to make the save. So Pereiras able to convert the penalty kick, and that is the only goal of the first 45 minutes. In fact, the shots on goal kind of reflect that it might have been a more exciting half of soccer than it really was. Lakeland had 10 shots and IMG 7, but the saves, when you get right down to it, Bannock for IMG had just 3 saves in the half, and Jorge Navarrete, who's getting his second start of the season in goal because of a suspension to starter Jonathan Valerio, Navarrete had just 1 save to his credit in the first 45 minutes, although it was a pretty good one from distance. He was kind of caught out of net, tracking down a loose ball, scrambled to get back on the line, and a shot from about 25 yards out was on goal, and Navarrete was able to make the save. And that really was the only time that IMG seriously had a threat going. They had certainly possession in the Lakeland end and some opportunities with crosses and whatnot, but nothing that really resulted on great shots on Navarrete. Lakeland had 2 corners in the first half. IMG did not have any, and the fouls were 6 apiece. There was 1 yellow card issued in the half, and that went to Lakeland as well. So that's kind of the quick recap of the first 45 minutes. We'll see how Lakeland comes out here to start the second half. This has traditionally been Tropics time, if you will. They have played some of their best soccer usually the first 20 or 25 minutes of the second half, so we'll see if that is the case here tonight as Jorge Navarrete gets a couple of last-second instructions and help from his steady defenseman Luca Weichers, and now all the defense will meet out. In fact, the entire Tropics team will gather quickly for a little inspirational huddle, knowing that their playoff lives are on the line here tonight. The SEMA Aguilas leading the Southeast Division, and they will be the opponent on Tuesday night. SEMA with a record now of 10-1-1 in their 12 games. Teams play a 14-game regular season schedule. FC Miami City in second at 9-1-1 with 28 points. And the Tropics in third, playing their 12th game tonight at 8-2-1, 25 points. So they would improve to 28 points and just 3 behind SEMA with this win if they can get it here. And that would create the showdown Tuesday up at Montverde Academy. So a lot on the line here for the Tropics in the second half, to be sure. Here's the ball on the near wing now to Asankeo, to his Eckerd College teammate Juan Tejada. Tejada had 2 people on him, and finally the whistle is called as Angel Farias was a little crisp on the challenge. So it'll be a free kick from about 35 yards out, and Victor Pereras will do the honors here. There's the 6'5" defender Ramsey Torrey, who always moves up on these opportunities and was the man in the box who created the penalty that resulted in the penalty kick goal for Pereras. Dieguez back post, and the ball was not high enough by Pereras. That is a play that the Tropics have used with some success this year, but Pereras not able to get enough elevation on the entry pass to get it to Dieguez over the traffic in front of Stephen Bannock. Well, we have a few hundred hardy souls who have waited out the weather. We've had 2 weather delays tonight. This game was originally slated to get underway around 5:35, and we did not have opening kickoff until 6:15. Played the first half with a lot of lightning around towards the end of the half, and that resulted in what ultimately was a halftime delay for Lightning. The teams actually had lined up to start the second half and then were called off the field for that second 30-minute delay. So we're at a point where we thought we'd be heading home tonight, but still 45 minutes of soccer to go, and it's important soccer to be sure, as Bay Downing tries to get through the Tropics defense and then eventually settles into the arms of Navarrete. Heads all the way downfield, and Bannock corrals it. Outlets to Matthew Lysout, his defensive player. Gets it up now to Summersall. Challenged by Tejada, but Summersall able to keep possession and gets it over to Farias. Push in the back there on Summersall. No whistle. SEMA definitely, or rather, looking ahead to SEMA on Tuesday, IMG rather, team that likes to play possession, create opportunities off possession, not necessarily a quick strike kind of with a lot of imagination, more of a controlled offensive attack and look for opportunities when they present themselves. Of course, at some point here in the second half, we're a long way from that point, but they will have to think about pressing the attack more as Farias collects the long ball and offsides is called. Tropics felt like they might be able to shake one of their forwards free behind the IMG defense with their pressure and aggressive style of play, but that has not happened yet. But as we move through the second half, don't discount that as a possibility.
The merchandise stand is located by the main entrance.
Ricardo Dieguez is so dangerous, and if he gets just a little bit of space, he's got that creativity and imagination to perhaps get a very big goal here. Tejada will intercept. Tejada gets it ahead to his teammate Asim Kayo. Teammate here in Lakeland, teammate at Eckerd College, and nice defensive work by Farias to deny Asim Kayo the ball. It's a good team they have at Eckerd College. You look at especially some of their offensive play as Tejada gets through. Tejada still with it in the box, gets it far post, and it's going to trickle just wide. Boy, good effort by Tejada there. And just missed it far post. Asim Kayo started all 17 games for the Tritons last season, and was second on the team in goals with 7. And led the Tritons in assists with 9. And wouldn't you know it, of course, the leading scorer for Eckerd College last year was none other than Lakeland's Juan Tejada, who actually played his high school soccer for IMG. Tejada, with 11 goals in 17 games last season for Eckerd, had 2 assists. All Sunshine Conference second team selection. So two really good college players up front now for the Tropics here. Asankeo essentially replacing Victor Rojas in the starting lineup, with Rojas moving on to his professional career in Portugal. Here's Hamuda down the left sideline being challenged in there by Ben Espinal. And it will go over the end line, and it will be a corner kick here for IMG. I think the Tropics thought it should have been a goal kick, but IMG will get a scoring chance here. Just 6.5 minutes into the second half. It'll be their first corner of the game. Navarrete will direct some traffic in front of the goal. There's the cross, and headed out of there. Be a throw in by IMG. I think it was Asankeo who got the header in there to knock it out of danger. Ball into the box, and we have offsides called. IMG will pick up the throw in after Lakeland put it in play, but Asankeo steals it away. Had Dieguez making a run down the left side of the pitch, but could not quite get him the ball that time. But that's exactly what we're talking about, getting Dieguez, maybe Pereiras or Asankeo ahead of the field. Here's a counter opportunity for the Tropics. Some space now as Pereiras gets it on the left side. Pereiras looks ahead, can't find any help. Rodriguez will track it down near the midfield circle for Lakeland. Gets it to Ivo Diaz, now to Asankeo, in the middle to Tejada. Tejada gets it through to Asankeo. Espinal will track it down. Espinal with a cross, but nobody making a run. But Pereiras there, far side of the box. There's a long shot, and that one just misses. That's about where he scored his goal Wednesday down against the Palm Beach Suns. Almost the exact same spot and the exact same idea with the long ball to the far post, and it just did miss. So a good idea by Victor Pereiras, who had no goals in the Tropics' first 10 games, although he did have 5 assists, but has 2 now in 2 games, with a game winner Wednesday and a penalty kick conversion here tonight. Throw in for IMG. Torrey will challenge for the Tropics, but IMG will control. Good recovery back there on the defense by Weichers, and so it'll be another throw in for IMG, but much less dangerous situation than what IMG was hoping would shape up there for them. 1-0 Lakeland as we head to the 55th minute. Tropics trying to extend this current win streak to 3. They had a 6-game win streak earlier in the season, all the way through to Navarrete, and he is able to cover it no problem. He is going to try and find Asankeo on the outlet. Good defensive work by Patrick Kibler. He has made a couple of nice defensive plays tonight. One particularly on Pereiras in that first half when it looked like the Tropics might really have a good chance. Another throw in again for IMG. Danny Avila, their leading goal scorer and assist man, quiet tonight. Here's Tejada with it. Tejada keeps it in play. He's got good speed. Now he'll pull up. Leaves it for Dieguez. Dieguez lays it off to Asankeo. Tried to get it back to Tejada, and this is going to deflect and will result in a corner kick here for the Tropics. Went off Raheem Summersall, kind of inadvertently, but on this turf did not slow down much, and Summersall was not able to catch up to it. So Lakeland will get a corner here, heading to the 56th minute. See if they can do something with it. They would love to get that second kind of, don't know if it's fair to call it an insurance goal this early in the second half, but it would be big. Give them a little bit of breathing room at least. And certainly perhaps change the way IMG would have to play the final 20 or 25 minutes. Short ball, right back to Pereiras. Pereiras now will cross it far post to Diegas. Shot! And Bennett got a hand on it. Good volley attempt by Diegas. He had about 2 or 3 of those in the second half down in Palm Beach and was unable to convert and was close there, but Bannock did get a hand on it. Don't know if it was going to go over the crossbar or not, but Bannock certainly not taking any chances. Gusti Rodriguez with some fancy footwork gets away from a couple of IMG defenders. Now gets it to Diegas in the middle of the field. Diegas turns, feeds it through to Tejada. Tejada moving in, shot saved by Bannock. Best save of the game by the IMG goalie is Tejada. Had a great opportunity on the setup by Diegas. Here's Asankeo again. He loses it, and IMG will just smartly clear the zone. Well, we mentioned right at the outset of the second half that the first 20 minutes or so of most of these second halves is the Tropics' best soccer of the game, and tonight certainly seems to be no exception. Foul on the far sideline. Tejada does not get stopped like that very often. He and Diegas will slap a low 5 as if to say, we'll get him next time. And anytime, either Diegas or Tejada get a one-on-one with a goalie like that, it's usually put it on the board time, but Bannock came up very big. I'm sure Tejada, if he had a chance to do it over again, might go for the higher shot. He kept it right along the turf, and Bannock was able to get down to it. Diegas on the steal again. Diegas looking for some help. And a foul called against Diegas now. But again, lots of energy and opportunities here for Lakeland in the first 13 minutes of the second half, but still 1-0. So IMG so far surviving this second half attack. They probably expected it would be coming. Here's a long ball down to Hamuda. Played all the way back to T.C. Anderson and now up to Summersall. Has some space, feeds it through the box. Navarrete going to come out though. Saw that one and drives it pretty much the length of the field. That was a pretty impressive clear by Navarrete. IMG will reset all the way deep in their own zone. Weishout steps up for the intercept. Ball through, but Montebero could not catch up with it.
Your wedding or event can be awesome or even amazing, but only if you book DJ Mini C Entertainment. Check out www.djminic.com.
Ivo Diaz with it at midfield to Rodriguez, feeds it left side to Pereiras. Pereiras will catch up to it. He's got Diegas and Nasankeo making a run, and Pereiras is knocked off the ball, no whistle. Steal by Ivo Diaz. Ivo Diaz then has his pocket picked. Taken back by the Tropics, Rodriguez with it at the midfield circle. Tried to find Tejada in the middle. Let's see if Espinal will challenge. Can't get there, but yep, IMG will keep it in play. Good play by Summersall. Good sliding stop by Weichers there. A little bit of a dangerous situation with Weichers leaving his feet. If he doesn't get it, it's a great opportunity for IMG, so he used his big frame to make sure he got enough of it to keep IMG at bay. Farias with it. Now to Summerhall. I think that's Summersall. Down deep in the box. Here's a cross in the middle looking for Avila. Dangerous play by Leishout, and Lakeland will get a free kick. Tropics subs starting to stretch and warm here on the west sideline of Square One Burgers Field at Bryant Stadium. Same for the potential IMG subs. At least the rain has certainly cooled things off. That is the one benefit of the rain tonight, despite the fact we're well past an hour and a half later than we expected. Here's a chance now as Pereiras has it to Dieguez, and he gets a weak shot away. A little bit too much traffic there for Dieguez to really get the kind of strike on it that he wanted. But again, the Tropics showing a lot of pressure, a lot of aggressiveness here in the second half. Tejada on the intercept. Feeds his winger Pereiras. Pereiras looks deep for Dieguez, didn't strike it well, and Anderson is able to clear it, but he puts it right on the foot of Ivo Diaz, and Pereiras will pick it up off the foot of Rodriguez. 62nd minute here. Now Ramsey Torrey will clear it up to Chase Hovius and right back to Torrey. The Tropics content to reset the offense here. Rodriguez with it near midfield. See if maybe they'll reverse field here, and they do get it over to Espinol. Espinol, nice little move around to Hamuda, but good recovery by Hamuda. Asankeo with it. Dieguez tries to set up Tejada. Tejada will keep it in play. See if he can get it around Anderson. He can't, but it'll be a throw in here for Lakeland in a dangerous spot. Most of the play here in the second half has been in the IMG end of the field. Comes right back to Tejada, and not sure he was actually, or rather it was Espinol. Not sure he was actually expecting it. Torrey will pick it up at midfield and presses forward, gives it to Pereiras. Hovius now to Pereiras again, and right back to Chase Hovius. And it goes over the end line, sideline rather, and it'll be a throw in for IMG. Chase Hovius, another of those steady Lakeland defenders this year. Of course, when he played locally at Auburndale High School as a senior for the Bloodhounds, he was a tremendous offensive threat. 25 goals and 20 assists in what basically was half a season before he left to play college ball up at Liberty College now in Virginia. Luis Batista out of Winter Haven, who signed on with the Tropics a few weeks ago, will be joining him at Liberty. He is a reserve for the Tropics. Throw in coming up here for IMG. Good defensive work again by Espinol there as Hamuda looked to get it in the box. Challenged by Rodriguez, but Summersall will keep possession. Pereiras loses it, and T.C. Anderson will pick it up. Play is slowed here a little bit. Here is Leishout with it. Chance for IMG as they get to the top of the box, and finally Weicher steps in to break up that opportunity, but still a chance here for IMG with possession. Espinol challenging Hamuda. Be a throw in here for IMG. And Weicher still shaken up. Hate to lose him at this stage, to be up just 1-0 and have one of your best defenders have to come off would not be anywhere close to ideal for Lakeland. I think he's going to be all right. IMG looking for some substitutes here. And they're going to make, looks like, several substitutions. In fact, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 players coming on.
IMG Academy substitutions.
So those are the first subs here tonight. We'll pick them up for you as we go here. Here's a long ball, and Navarrete is going to track that one down. Looks like Lucas DePaula going to come in just a minute for Lakeland, number 27. Could be the first of several substitutions for the Tropics as well. So number 30 for IMG, Matthew Sipowicz in the game. Also in number 37, John Sperling. As Pedro Ivo Diaz is going to be the sub player for.
This is a substitution for your Lakeland Tropics. Number 27 for number 20.
Now you're tight with him, Ben. It's out.
Sam Agosti, number 32, also in for Seminole. And the last of the 4 subs that came on just a couple of minutes ago, Bernard Yeboah, number 2. Jeter. No, I'm sorry. That's wrong sport. So fresh legs both ways now as we approach the 70th minute. Wouldn't be surprised at Alexi Cortez sighting before long. He very often a substitute, started a couple of games. Good counter chance here for the Tropics, but nice, or for IMG, but nice recovery by Gusti Rodriguez to break that up. And then Tejada taken down and the foul is called. Weichers will drive it, looking for Pereiras. Knocked over the end sideline, and it'll be another throw in here for Lakeland. 71st minute approaches, 1-0 still. The penalty kick by Victor Pereiras, the only goal. Lakeland has had some good chances here in the second half. Diegas can't catch up to it as Bannock read that play well and slides out to take the ball away. DePaula loses it, but Espinal picks it up. Right here on the sideline, it'll be a throw-in as DePaula and Farias came together. Intercepted by Rodriguez. Hovia steps up and gets it to Asankeo. But the visitors from IMG will take it right back at the midfield circle, looking to equalize things here with a little less than 19 minutes to go in the second half, regulation time, and then of course Downing here. Three-man wall for Lakeland. There's a ball into the box. There's a man far post, and it was T.C. Anderson, but he could not come up with it. Pretty good ball in there by Downing, and Anderson had created just enough space there, far post, that was IMG's best chance here of the second half, even though it did not result in a shot on goal. In for, so IMG's leading goal scorer, I don't believe, is on the pitch here for the rest of the second half. Perhaps some good news for the Tropics as well. Avila with 4 goals and 3 assists for IMG this year. Winding towards the 74th minute now.
Hey fans, as a reminder, be sure to stick around for the post-game meet and greet session.
Tevin Gage is about ready to check in for the Tropics. He also a pretty regular substitute at about this point of the second half. See who he may sub in for. Bannock will come out, drive it deep down the right sideline. Torrey there with a header. Weichers tries to clear. Torrey there. No whistle. And it'll be, I believe, a goal kick. It will be for Navarrete. So Gage the next to come in here for Lakeland. And let's see if he's maybe coming in for Ricardo Dieguez. I think that's the thought here. So both teams will play the final 15 minutes without their leading goal scorer, as Ricardo Dieguez, for just the 4th time this year, kept off the score sheet and will be subbed in for as Tevin Gage will come in, and Dieguez gets, as he should, a tremendous hand from the folks that remain here from what was a very nice final night crowd. Dieguez exiting with 10 goals so far this season, but still 2 more games to go for the Tropics, and maybe more if they qualify for the postseason.
For number 9, Ricardo Dieguez.
So Ricardo Dieguez takes a seat. Here's Espinola with it. Gets it ahead to Tejada. Tries to get it to DePaula. Can't do it. Tejada chasing it down, and here comes IMG Agasti with it. Gets it left side to Farias. Nice little through ball to Yaboa, but taken away by Espinol, who gets it up to Tejada. Looks for Tevin Gage. Gage tracks it down, and handball is called as it bounced up and hit Gage in the arm. And Tejada gets a yellow card, and I guess it's because he knocked the ball away. Not really certain. Didn't see any kind of physical contact or any verbal attack, so I think maybe he cleared the ball away as a delay of game tactic, and the referee was not buying it. Summersall being challenged by Tejada. He gets it over to Sipowicz. Driven now into the Lakeland zone where Ramsey Torrey picks it up. Gets it up to Rodriguez. Rodriguez, now Tejada. Tried to find DePaula. Couldn't do it. Navarrete will slide out to cover up. Shove in the back against Gage, but no whistle. Challenged by Asankeo on the far sideline, and a takedown and a whistle at least. Things starting to get a little chippy here. And do I see a yellow card? I do.
That's a yellow card for number 7 on IMG Academy, Bay Downing.
So Bay Downing is carded. First yellow, I believe, of the night for IMG. This will be a free kick from a little better than 40 yards out here. Tejada up in the box. Another substitution coming in here for IMG.
It's a substitution for IMG Academy. Number 31. Number 29.
Hovius with it for the Tropics, looks into the box. Headed away by IMG. Gio Carbone is the substitute for IMG. Here's Gage with it now. Tevin Gage looks for some help. Dribbles to the far sideline, gives it up. Here's a run into the box, but knocked out of there by the IMG defense. 79th minute, still 1-0. The penalty kick goal is holding up here. Hovius drives it to the left sideline, but too far for Asankeo. So IMG will get possession here. Chance now for IMG, but taken away by Rodriguez. Rodriguez trying to keep it in the field of play, but cannot. Well, the bad news is it only takes one for IMG to really put a monkey wrench into things. The good news is they really haven't created a ton of good scoring opportunities, but funny things can happen. Here's a chance in the box, or at least some penetration by IMG. Back on top to Summersall. He'll drive one deep. Navarrete will punch it out of there. It'll go right to IMG, though. Torrey will try and clear the zone. Still has it, and he's able to get it ahead, but then taken right back by IMG, and then taken away by the Tropics, and Tejada has it. Juan Tejada gets it up to Espinol. Espinol tries to play it forward. DePaula with it to Tejada. Talk about funny things happening. We mentioned right at the top of the webcast quite a while ago now that IMG tied FC Miami City last week, which was one of the surprising results all season in the PDL. And one of those 2 goals was an own goal, if you will, by FC Miami City on a miscommunication between a defender and Eric Edge, their very good goaltender. And the second goal of that game was actually a kind of a deflection, so that's why you say funny things can certainly happen, and 1 goal is not necessarily enough. It may hold up tonight, but the Tropics would love to get that second one. Here's IMG in the attack, long shot right on, and Navarrete makes the save. Gusti took it from about 25 yards out, and Jorge did not have any trouble with that one.
Planet Fitness Lakeland wants you to know that you can come work out for as low as $10 per month. Log on to planetfitness.com or come see us on South Florida Avenue in Lakeland for more
Gage
information.
trying to get it for the Tropics, has it knocked away by Anderson, and the official says play on. Weichers will step up and intercept and feed it over to Pereiras. Little give and go with Asankeo. Pereiras cuts to the middle of the field, and he finally has it taken away. No whistle, and again, Pereiras frustrated with that. Rodriguez with a challenge. Chance for IMG, knocked high into the air. Good defensive play there by Torre. Tropics will get a throw in here. 83rd minute approaches, and then whatever we have in stoppage time. IMG certainly starting to press the attack here, and let's see if Lakeland can take advantage and perhaps get that insurance marker. Here's the long throw in. Bounces over Gage's head. Tejada there to try and pick it up. He does. Tejada with it. Gets it over to DePaula now. DePaula cuts towards the middle of the field. DePaula tried the little give and go, but taken away. IMG will counter. Augusti with it. Augusti. Good play by Weichers. Stays true on the defense and able to easily head it out of danger. Tejada with it to DePaula. Tejada back with it. Had Gage briefly, didn't see him. Torrey will push ahead. Over to Pereiras now, wearing the captain's band. Here's Pereiras, cuts in towards the box. Pereiras puts it in front. Tejada did not make a run there. Pereiras thought he would. That might have been one of the cases where Owen Conlon was hoping for a shot. One of his points of emphasis before the game was to be not quite so nice on offense. Go ahead and be selfish and take the shot. And Pereiras had perhaps a very good opportunity there and tried to set Tejada up, but Tejada was trailing the play.
Hey fans, as a final reminder,
Jonathan Jimenez is going to come in now for Lakeland, and I believe he's going to come in for Victor. So Pereiras will pass the captain's badge along as well. It will go to Gusti Rodriguez. So Jimenez in and Pereiras out in the 85th minute.
It's a substitution for the Lakeland Tropics.
Well, again, hard certainly to criticize any player for being unselfish, and Conlon will certainly have high fives for Pereiras, the goal scorer on the penalty kick. That has been it on the score sheet either way tonight. Jorge Navarrete in his second start ever for the Tropics, looking for a clean sheet. Would be the third Lakeland shutout of the season if he is able to get it. Jonathan Valerio had a couple earlier, and Valerio should be back Tuesday night for the game against SEMA, or at least his suspension will be lifted at that point. And Coach Owen Conlon will have a decision to make between Valerio and Navarrete. Here's Gage trying to dribble into the box but loses possession. Agasti will bring it upfield here for IMG. Gets around Tejada. Torrey watching things defensively. It is Yeboah who can't track it down on the far sideline for IMG, and Lakeland will get a throw in. And here comes Alexi Cortez, number 14. Expected that we would see him at some point. Good reinforcement, good fresh legs coming in. See who he is going to sub in for. One more substitution for IMG, their last of the night. And we'll see if Cortez is going to be allowed to come in now. I think he will.
It's a substitution for your Lakeland Tropics. Number 14, Alexi Cortez.
So Cortez on,
For number 11,
and Matias Asankeo is done for the night.
sustitución para los Lakeland Tropics. Número 14, Alexis Cortez. Sobre número 11.
Heading towards the 88th minute now. Coming in for IMG during that last break is Griffin Godsick, number 5. IMG coaches telling their squad to press forward here, and no reason not to, down a goal with just a couple minutes to go in regulation. Tropics won't be their best performance of the year necessarily, but solid, and a win is a win at this point. That's you can't spend all your ammunition tonight when you've got a game Tuesday and another game Thursday, that's for sure. Those would be the final 2 games of the regular season. The Tropics, though, still hoping for a playoff spot, as Rodriguez will press forward. Rodriguez still with possession and finally taken down at the IMG 40-yard line. Had Tevin Gage with him. Looked like might have been an opportunity developing there, but at this point the Tropics will be happy to run a little clock as well. Tejada will put it in play, and fed on the far sideline to DePaula, who was ridden off the ball, but it will be a throw-in for Lakeland. Final minute of regulation here. Espinal can't control it, but it's knocked over the sideline by Agasti. So again, a throw in for the Tropics here as they try and wind down the final few minutes of this one. Final regular season home game of the 2017 Premier Development League season for the Tropics by just about any measure. A great success on and off the field. The community has really embraced the Tropics in a big way. We've had some nice crowds out here at Bryant Stadium, and certainly on the verge of their 9th win, which is nice as well. DePaula tries a little spin move at the midfield line and no whistle, but the ball did go over the sideline, so a throw in here for Lakeland as we are now officially in stoppage time. Looks like 4 minutes of stoppage time, the official is saying. So still a ways to go here.
There are 4 minutes remaining for stoppage of play.
Rodriguez will send it into the IMG zone. He's looking for Tevin Gage, and they'll play it back to Bannock, the goalkeeper. So 4 minutes away for the Lakeland Tropics from what would be their 6th home win of the season in 7 tries. Only FC Miami City spoiling what would be a perfect record is almost a very nice looking full moon finally rising over Bryant Stadium. That is nice to see after the rain and thunder and lightning we've had tonight. Weicher steps up for Lakeland and plays it to Tejada, to Rodriguez, and now to DePaula. DePaula swings cross field to Gage. Tevin Gage with it, and we have a whistle and apparently a handball. Or offsides, I beg your pardon.
Tropics fans, as a reminder, be sure to stick around for the post-game meet and greet session, along with a group photo with the team, immediately following tonight's game.
Weichers will reverse field here. Rodriguez has it. Somehow that was a throw-in for IMG. Not sure how that was. Rodriguez with a burst of energy. He's pushed off the ball. Whistle and a foul as Agasti got a little aggressive there. So Rodriguez will get the free kick here. Again, in no particular hurry. Lakeland trying to ride the penalty kick goal by Victor Pereiras in the 40th minute to a win here tonight. Throw in coming up here for IMG. We're in stoppage time, probably about halfway through the 4 minutes. So certainly enough time for IMG to mount at least one, maybe a couple of counter opportunities. Torrey will head it back towards the midfield circle. Rodriguez traps it but can't control. Agasti with it. IMG with possession, looking for some space. Weicher steps up. IMG still controls, however. And now it bounces to Rodriguez to Tejada. Tejada, 1 against 3 here. Tejada, though, still with it, trying to work it. Tejada, still without any help, but still with possession, and finally taken down, and amazingly no whistle. Wow, how is that not a foul? That could even have been a penalty kick. It was right at the top of the box. Crowd most unhappy with that, and I don't blame them. Great effort by Tejada, and finally was taken off his pins, and no whistle. Here's Gage with it, and he can't control it. Had to be at least a free kick there for the Tropics. But play on and play on we shall for the next minute or two of stoppage time. Here's a long ball into the box. Torrey heads it out of there. DePaula will pick it up for the Tropics. DePaula taken down. Oh, there's a whistle. What do you know? Wasn't sure that was even going to be called a foul. Been a well-officiated game. No argument with that, but the takedown on Tejada certainly seemed like it should have warranted a whistle. Rodriguez drives it down to Gage. Gage with it deep in the left corner. Has Jimenez in front, and it will go out of play, and that's the ball game. The Tropics able to run out the final 4 minutes of stoppage time, and they will come home a winner one last time here at Bryant Stadium tonight to close out the home portion of the 2017 regular season. A penalty kick goal by Victor Pereiras, a really perfect strike in the 40th minute of the first half. I'm sure we'll get a chance to take one more look at that before we call it a night here for the Tropics. But a penalty kick goal by Pereiras in the 40th minute turns out to be the only score of the night, and for the second straight game, Victor Pereiras has a game winner. His goal in the second half down in Palm Beach Wednesday in a 2-1 win was the winner. And here is a look at the penalty kick tonight. That is the only goal of the game. But that's all the Tropics needed to keep their playoff hopes alive. Their win streak is now at 3. And things really set up fairly simple for Lakeland here in the final week. They will travel to Monteverde, Florida. That is a little bit east of Orlando on Tuesday night to take on the SEMA Aguilas, who are leading the Southeast with a 10-1 mark, 10-1-1. With the win tonight, Lakeland improves to 9-2-1. So they are just 1 win or 3 points behind SEMA in the standings. They have already beaten SEMA this year. That is the Aguilas' only loss a couple of Saturdays ago here at Bryant Stadium. And so that game Tuesday is, for all intents and purposes, a playoff showdown. If SEMA wins it, they are in. If Lakeland wins it, they are not necessarily in, but they will still be alive. The Aguilas and Tropics would be then tied atop the division, or FC Miami will be in there as well, but 2 of the 3 teams will make the playoffs. Essentially what it boils down to is Lakeland, if they win Tuesday in SEMA and Thursday in Tampa Bay, would be in the playoffs here in 2017. The Tropics control their own destiny. So it has been fun for us here on Soccer Night in Florida to bring you Lakeland Tropics soccer all season long. Our thanks to Gary and Mike and the gang at GTV Sports for all their hard work and effort all season long under less than ideal conditions at times, and we appreciate their perseverance and professionalism as they have brought you Lakeland Tropics soccer all season. And thank you to our friends at the Bond Clinic for all they have done to make Tropics soccer a reality here in 2017, both the outdoor Lakeland Tropics and the second season of the Florida Tropics of the Major Arena Soccer League, which will start in November over again at the Lakeland Center. So it's been a lot of fun. Also thanks to our good friends over at Ybor Eats in Ybor City. It's where the locals eat. So the next time you're over in the heart of Ybor, 1604 North 7th Street, stop in for a breakfast wrap, by the way, one of their unique items for breakfast. We talk a lot about their cheesesteaks, but they have some terrific breakfast items as well, and they do a breakfast wrap where they take one of their breakfast sandwiches and add potatoes and a vegetable and put it all into a big wrap, and that is a great way to get your day started at Ybor Eats, and our thanks to those folks there for their support of Soccer Night in Florida as well. So that'll do it from Bryant Stadium. The final, the Lakeland Tropics 1, IMG Academy nothing. Keep your fingers crossed. The season may not end this week. You can check out all the latest news online to see how things go Tuesday at Monteverde and Thursday in Tampa Bay and what it all means for the postseason online at www.lakelandtropics.com. So for Gary and Mike and the gang, we hope you had a great time tonight. We hope you had a great season. We look forward to seeing you in the fall. It's over at Bryant Stadium. The Tropics won, IMG Academy nothing. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.